great to see a room that's full, and I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I also want to thank Veterans for Peace for all the work they put in bringing us together and for giving us the stage early tomorrow morning. We're going to have a Women Say No to War rally starting at 11, so please join us, women and men, come early. And I'm going to take off on what Ralph was saying about how we have to sort of go with the energy and talk a little about where the energy is these days. And I was lucky enough to have been in Cairo watching a revolution happen, and boy, did that blow my mind just thinking of what is possible. But then to come back and go immediately to Madison and being there with workers and community people who just came out and suddenly discovered that their lifestyles, what people had fought for so many decades, was under such attack that they started pouring into the Capitol and pouring in, and young and old, and mothers were bringing their kids, and kids were bringing their parents, and teachers were bringing their students, and students were bringing their teachers, and the workers were bringing their union bosses, and the union bosses were bringing the workers, and it was just quite an amazing sight to behold. And I was sleeping there on the marble floor, and I just felt like, this is Cairo again. This is the energy we need in this country, and people are feeling the need to fight back, because they are feeling that when such basic things are under attack right now, that they've got to stand up. There's no more sitting back again. So the energy is there. What we have to do is combine the two issues, because the fight back is now spreading across this country. And we are seeing union and non-union people coming together and understanding, a general understanding, starting to come out in this country, that it's not whether I belong to a union or not. It's that union throughout the decades have helped raise the standard of living, has helped given us things like weekends that we take for granted, has given us the 8-hour working day, has given us decent wages, minimum pensions, have given us things that are worth fighting for. And so we got to stand up with the union folks and say what they're saying not only in Madison but around this country now, which is union busting, union busting, union busting. Okay, but we've got to add to that, because that part we're getting down, right? And it was beautiful. I don't know how many of you were here on Wednesday when the Republicans from Wisconsin were having a fundraiser here in Washington, D.C. And unions and non-union folks said, let's go out and greet them. Well, we expected to go out, and usually when the unions organize here, you kind of go around in circles, and it's, not all that militant. Well, this time, they busted right into the place where they were holding a meeting. They took over the stairs, they took over the lobby, and out this resounding sounds of union busting. That's disgusting. All throughout. And you got this feeling the unions are starting to get it. Not only that, there was a union there that had a lot of its people come out, and they had these red shirts, and a lot of them were wearing the red shirts. They were the Transit Workers Union. And guess what was on the red shirts? It said, "End the wars." So, we went up to them and had a great discussion with them. And they said, look, we're getting it now. We know the AFL-CIO has been very tough to get on board this issue of Stop the Wars. And many of us in this room have tried over and over and over again to tell them, it's not about a couple of your union folks making bombs. This is about the morality of invading other countries, and this is about the bankrupting of the United States here at home. We need you with us in this anti-war movement. Of this burgeoning movement, and I'm putting forward an idea to you now of saying, why don't we call for in state capitals all over this country this summer to have the Summer of Rage, where we say no to the endless wars and no to the destruction of workers' rights. We come together, unions, working people, anti-war movement, and we say we will that as we commemorate 8 years in Iraq, where we took a country that had already been destroyed by 13 years of sanctions, we took a country that had already been brutalized by a dictator, and we made it into something infinitely worse, that now is the time to reflect on who we are as a nation, what morals we hold dear as a nation, and what we want to reflect internally and around the world. There are indeed things that we cannot afford as a nation, and I'm not talking about health care, I'm not talking about pensions, I'm not talking about affordable college for our kids. What I'm talking about we can't afford corporations that don't pay their taxes. We can't afford a tax system that keeps giving tax breaks to the rich. We can't afford to have 800 military bases around the world where we should not be. We can't afford nuclear weapons, and we can't afford nuclear energy. We can't afford to destroy workers' rights and things we hold dear like collective bargaining, and we can't afford to have our silos of this group working on corporate issues, this group working on the wars, this group working on union rights. We've got to bring it together. So in closing, let's try one more chant I wanted to see if we could do. Let me remember what it was. This one was, well, we're going to add, one side of you says union busting, that's disgusting. And the other side is going to say, endless war, we won't take it no more. Think we can do that? Let's try it. This side here, union busting, that's disgusting. This side is going to say, endless war, we won't take it no more. But we're going to do it with like lots and lots of energy, like we really mean it, like we're going to come together. Okay. Union